Hi, I'm Borkon. Glad to have you here. Welcome back. And yeah, we are at this place. Just very quickly before we get to what we're doing today, I have heard your comments and I completely agree. This gray glass is just terrible. I knew it already when I was finishing it, but I just didn't have time last time to fix it up. I'm gonna do an experiment right now, and the experiment is to see if yellow works, and if yellow doesn't work, we're going full magenta on this entire wall unless I have an even better idea. But I think yellow and magenta might work quite well together. Don't know why I think that. It's not a very common color combination, I think, or maybe it is. Maybe it's some standard. Like, I know nothing about colors. I don't know how colors work. Other than seeing them all the time, every day, with my eyes. But maybe my eyes are stupid. I think my eyes actually are stupid. But anyway, I'm just gonna do this stripe, look at it from the distance, and I just realized that probably this thing is gonna be completely in the way and we're not gonna see anything. But let's see if we can spot anything interesting. Does this actually look good? No, this looks even more like a rendering glitch. So a comment, a very good comment, was actually that the gray glass looks like a rendering glitch, but the yellow glass looks like an even worse rendering glitch. Okay, this whole thing goes fully magenta. I mean, it's not a bad color combination. Actually, like, I think I was right, at least in my mind, this would have looked good, and I think it does look good. It just doesn't look good on this building, but the color combination is interesting. So I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna put that in my brain and remember that magenta and yellow seem to kind of work together. And by the way, this, before I forget, I am very, very sorry. I promised a stream at the end of the previous episode, and I couldn't stream. And if you haven't read the comment I pinned at the top of the previous episode, what happened and is still happening is that my internet home is broken. Well, if you're seeing this video, either my internet home was fixed or I figured out a way to upload this, because as it looks right now, my internet provider said up to 5 days of just investigation, so they're gonna be investigating what happened. And I am 99% sure that the thing that connects the fiber that comes out of my wall to my network at home is dead, and I can't buy my own and replace it because it contains some magical configuration from my internet provider. So I just have to wait for them, but they're gonna be investigating for up to 5 days, and then the delivery, I have no idea how long it's gonna take them to deliver a new box to me. Previous time it happened, there was some technician that just came out, but I suspect that with the plague going around, they are not sending out technicians to random people's homes just because, so I will probably have to wait for mail, and it's gonna take forever. So I might not have internet for a week, 2 weeks. It's terrible. I have mobile, but you can't upload videos from mobile. It's yeah. So sorry about not being able to stream. Very likely no stream after this episode either, unless something gets fixed. Let's hope, but we'll see. Anyway, back to fixing the building here. Yeah, this look is good. I think it fits in with the island a little bit more than it used to with the whatever stripe experiment I did. And I added some trim on the edge of the glass. I did not add a roof because I think bamboo requires some light level. Not 100% sure, but I think I read it, so I'm not gonna risk adding a roof and then just making the bamboo not grow. Although I will add lights anyway. I want to try something like this. It would be every other one. Mostly because it seems to be night all the time in my world, because I never sleep. Don't know. I really don't understand how like other people I watch, they always have daytime in their world. Maybe that's like a way of professionalism, how you're good at making videos, that you actually always make sure that the conditions are right. I just start talking. I push record and start talking. Maybe I should prepare a little bit more. Yeah, one day maybe I'll try to become more professional at this. Right now, we're just messing around and seeing what happens with everything. I'm trying to get rid of rain though. Rain, I have learned that if it's raining, I think I had one bit I recorded last time with rain because I didn't notice it was raining because I started recording inside the base. Rain ruins all the quality of the video. So I definitely try to get rid of rain, but I don't always get rid of the night, or I actually very rarely get rid of the night. And I think that this island looks quite good during the night, so it's not a problem. Or at least the buildings do. Yeah. I'm liking this, I'm happy with it. I declare this project to be done. I will not do any side walls like I was thinking. Even though the glazed terracotta looks a little bit out of place, it's fine. You can barely notice it. The only thing, like, for aesthetic reasons, I'm actually thinking about getting rid of this thing. This hill, which is just stupid. Like, it's a bit of grass. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit here at all. It doesn't make sense with the terrain, and it looks really bad as a backdrop for the farm. I think the ocean would look much better. Let's kill that hill. Like, now I'm on a roll. Let's kill that hill and see what happens. Yes, this is much better without the hill. Let's see how it looks from this side, because I haven't actually looked. Oh, it's almost good. Now, I started removing all the stone here, so let's just finish that. I think that was the last bit that's visible. Yeah, I now need to grassify this bit. But we're gonna get to that in a minute, because I have some plans for the grassification that we need to talk about. Just wanted to finish this thing, because I know I wasn't finished last episode, but I just ran out of time. But I think I have a little bit more time this episode, so I want to tie this up. Yeah, I'm liking this. This is good now, without the hill. And let's see how it looks from this angle, which was the first time I noticed the hill. Yeah, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want. We're not gonna be fiddling with this thing anymore today. What I want to do today is to start preparing for something that's coming relatively near in the future. This is something I mentioned probably not in episode 50. No, I mentioned it in the comments to episode 50. It was either in the comments or on Discord or in the episode I mentioned that I'm waiting for a full stack of episodes. So I want to do something special, well, not special, just a world tour in episode 64, but for that, and to be completely honest, the reason I didn't have a world tour in episode 50 is that it just came so suddenly. I didn't even notice that it was 50 and it was a number where people would be expecting to see something special. So I dodged the question by saying 64, a full stack of episodes, even though it does make sense now for me, but back then it was just a dodge. But we need to prepare a little bit for this, and for this we need a new to-do list. Not a to-do list like this, which I had just for one episode. This is a little bit longer term. How do you spell to is it todo? Todo list? Let's call it a todo list. The todo list, that's not in the middle. Let's remove that one. Let's make a todo list. Episode 64 todo list. Yes, a todo list. Let's make a todo list for stuff I need to have cleaned up for episode 64 so that it makes sense to make a world tour. And number one on this is no visible mycelium. Spelling is hard. Right, I will not get the counter to 0. That's probably impossible in general, because there will be some mycelium blocks hiding underground, and I'm counting down to block, like, I think between block 90 and 30 or 40, I don't remember, but that's... I'm not counting down to bedrock, but I'm counting down to block 30, and there's probably some caves that the mycelium will be hiding in. I don't think we can get it to 0, but we can get it close. And the goal is simple: no visible mycelium on the island. That's number 1. Number 2, mycelium counter leg. Because right now it's just hovering there on a basalt platform, and it's just doesn't make sense. Needs some kind of leg to stand on, probably something big, actually. Not sure, needs to be done. Just so this place doesn't look horrible when I'm showing it off to people. Because, you know, like episodes like that where you're doing a world tour are a little bit of advertisement for your world and everything you've accomplished, and you can't have a 2 shulker boxes of scaffolding standing there. And by the way, as you might be noticing, I've been working on this. This is actually, I'm starting to like it. Now it's stopping to be terrible, and it's starting to make sense. That will be probably number 3. No scaffolding. Finish at least most of the tentacles. So I want to reach the point of doing these, and it has to be done on all 4 sides. But I want to reach the point where I don't need the scaffolding anymore. Because at some point, and this is something I noticed today when I was working on this one, because yes, I've gone up here. Here, I don't need a scaffolding anymore. I can just jump around and build this up. So even if I decide to do all the way around the whole thing, which is not impossible, I've actually been tempted to do that, I don't need scaffolding on the upper half, which is nice. Another thing is the thing I was talking about very long time ago, some kind of highlights for the tentacles down here, and it's especially important now when everything is dark. And I've been thinking, and this thinking is definitely influenced by this place. This looks good. I want something like that on the tentacles. Probably not lanterns though. I'm thinking about experimenting with just fires behind trapdoors or something like that. That's a possibility, because this now needs lighting up, because with the floor being so solid and so much of it, this is way too dark in here. Something needs to happen. So that definitely needs to happen as well. Tentacle highlights. And I'm calling it tentacle highlights and not just lights, because I also want to add some little bit more colorful blocks into the tentacles, and for that I'm thinking a grindy block. I'm thinking, I probably don't even, yes, this, gilded blackstone. I want some gilded blackstone in the tentacles. This is all I own. This is probably my most precious block of all the blocks that exist. So I need to raid a lot of is it called bastions? I think they're called bastions, just to get gilded blackstone. That is something I will definitely, probably even do in this episode, because this is important. And when it comes to the base, there's one more thing. Move beacons from the entrances. So I need to do the math, what the range of the beacons is and where I can move them so that they both cover a larger portion of the island, and so that the beams aren't in the way, because this made sense when I didn't have anything to look at. But this definitely ruined everything. So I want to be able to look at this sign, I want to be able to see it, and the beacon beams are messing it up. So I need to move the beacons, probably so that they don't even go through the glass. If possible, I need to do the math on the distances. And this is definitely not the full list. I will definitely be coming up with other projects that definitely need to be finished. Oh, yeah, okay, I already spotted one thing that I forgot. Remove old mob farm platform. I'm fine with this thing hanging there in the air. I kind of like it. It's It's fine, it doesn't ruin everything, it doesn't look terrible, and I'm kind of used to it. Being on the, well, I wanted to say horizon, but the horizon is far away. But the platform is just horrendous. It's ugly. It's like the platform is just looks horrible. And it's non-functional anyway, so it just needs cleaning up. And I think the pool is gonna, the pool, this is actually ocean. This a little bit of ocean is gonna look much better when the platform isn't there. And we can see that this whole thing is actually properly lit up with sea pickles. That was a crazy episode and one of my least watched episodes ever, by the way. Fun one. I really like doing it, but I went crazy when I was doing it. Now, the hardest part of all of this will probably be getting rid of the mycelium, because 60,000. We are about 5 episodes away from when this needs to be done, which means 12,000 mycelium per episode. But someone in my Discord has suggested a different method that I should try, so we're gonna give it a go now. And the method is, instead of the way I'm doing it, to remove the layer of mycelium and then replace it with dirt, and then let the grass grow on the dirt, it might be easier, maybe, if I can find... Am I complete? Oh no, of course not. I just put all my netherrack into a shulker box. Apparently it might be easier or faster to cover the mycelium with netherrack. Then the mycelium will turn into dirt. You remove the netherrack. Of course, it doesn't have to be netherrack, but the netherrack is the fastest block you can remove, and I have a lot of netherrack. So I cover everything in netherrack, let it turn the mycelium into dirt, then remove the netherrack after, well, give it an hour or so, because we need all the blocks to turn into dirt, and then we should have the grass grow on the dirt. That should be the method. So I'm gonna give it a go now. Maybe I will like this method more. And we'll see if this is more efficient than the previous method I've been using. Alright, this bit is now completely covered in netherrack. I haven't started removing it yet, but I would estimate that this far this has taken maybe a quarter of time that this bit has taken, although this is probably much bigger. Yeah, it is. It looks bigger. I'll now wait until I think most of it is done, and as we can see here, there are still bits of mycelium sticking out on the sides, so I'm not sure how long time is reasonable to wait for, I guess, 99% of them to be converted. I'm pretty sure it is already done now. But I'll wait a few more minutes, remove all this netherrack, and check the counter and see how many blocks this was, and if this was faster and more efficient. It felt a little bit more efficient, but I haven't removed the netherrack yet. And the netherrack is removed. I'm not sure if this is a faster method. It feels a little bit faster. The disadvantage is that my pickaxe is gonna get used up and I'm not gonna notice. This is gonna increase the attrition rate of my pickaxes, which is already, well, number 8, right? So it's one every, what, 7 episodes or something like that. So that's definitely gonna happen. But this has a huge advantage. And the advantage is that I don't have to stress out about finishing a bit before the mycelium starts growing back. And that is huge, which means I forgot that my elytra is about to break and I shouldn't have flown. Right, but this means that in the middle of this I can go away, do something else, then come back and start doing it again, and that definitely makes this a much less stressful problem. So yeah, this is definitely the method I'm gonna use. It's even possible that I'm gonna try to just maybe cover all of this in netherrack. That would be a crazy idea, but I should try. But we definitely need to do this now. Here. No, not even close. That, too high. Oh, I did hit it. I didn't even notice that I hit it. So this was 2000, so half as big as that one. But yeah, it definitely was much faster. So yeah, I like this method. I'm gonna use it. I shall definitely do much more today, because if we gonna do all 60,000 until, well, what, in 5 episodes, we need to do about 12,000 per episode. I'm not gonna be able to fix all of them, because lots of them are probably somewhere underground, which I won't be able to find, but I want to get rid of all the visible mycelium on the island at least. And that thing has to grow out, so I guess I should AFK there, yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, I would try to get some gilded blackstone just because I wanted to do the highlights on my tentacles, and yeah, it's not a lot. I'm really having trouble finding this stuff. I don't know if there is some trick. I haven't been able to find the trick. I've been just going into bastions, breaking them open, and taking all their stuff, but there really isn't much. Yeah, this gilded blackstone is really hard to find. I don't know if it's a good idea, because I don't even have a stack now. I think like this was, yeah, but this is nothing. It's not even a stack. I have 2 music discs though. How do I make a jukebox? I've never made a jukebox. Maybe that's what I should do. Yes, let's do that, because that's easier than finding more of the gilded blackstone. Priorities, like you have to have correct priorities in this game. Apparently, it takes a diamond. I actually didn't know that. Let's see how this works. I just do this. Alright, back to reality. Let's get some more done here. But before I dig for more gilded blackstone, I wanted to see if this idea of lighting this up with soulfire would work, and I am actually not convinced. And I think it's the trapdoors that are not looking great here. Ouch. Without the trapdoors? Without the trapdoors, it just looks like it's on fire. Can I hide this somehow? I am not convinced. I don't like this. Are there any black trapdoors? I guess spruce is the darkest one I can think of, but spruce is not transparent. So this needs to be transparent, but not too transparent. I'll have to experiment some, because I don't like these. The warp trapdoors definitely didn't work. They looked horrible. I'm gonna try oak. Something like this, maybe? Oh, hello, Rain. I talked about you earlier today. No. It's actually better than the warped, but this doesn't look good. Something like this, maybe? Let's see this from a distance. Oh, stupid rain. Come on, stop raining. Now it's lifeless and dead. The fire made more sense than the lantern, but I don't think I can have the fire and a carpet above it. No, that of course will not work. Carpet and a slab above, maybe? Let's try a slab above, but I am not hopeful now that this will work. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just my taste that's terrible. Maybe this looks perfectly fine to everybody else, but it does not look right to me. The slab, actually, I can already see that the slab is making sense. More sense than the trapdoors. Yeah, okay, this is not awful. So it is slabs. Or maybe stairs? Stairs or slabs and soulfire. I'll experiment a little bit more and make like one of these tentacles covered, just to see if this makes sense. I am not convinced. It is an improvement, but it's not a huge improvement. And I definitely need something, for example, maybe here. And let's look at it from a little bit distance. Yeah, it's okay. It is an improvement, but I'm not sure if it's such a huge an improvement. But it definitely needed lighting up, so I'm gonna do all the sides and just spam these fires a little bit randomly on these tentacles. Like, this one still definitely needs something here, maybe. Probably not overdoing it too much, because it might become just too annoying. But this here, maybe add another one somewhere here, probably. Yeah, that could work. So I'm randomly just placing the first few, just to have something, and then I see which parts could use another one. That's basically my process here. Oh yes. Okay, now that I've added more of them, they definitely start making sense, because now this has added some life. Yes, it's like even things are moving. Things are happening. There are dots everywhere. Yeah, I like this. Okay, now I like this when I've added more. I think it's the scaffolding in my peripheral vision that is actually ruining the effect. And I need one more up here, I think. Let's just add that one. Maybe here will probably be good. And that should be the last one I need to add. I've been flying around here for a long time now, trying to find more spots that need some help, and I think... No, definitely one more here. So I don't want any spot of this tentacle to be complete darkness. That's basically the goal here. And I don't think anything is in complete darkness right now anymore. Let's see. One last look from this angle. This is perfect. Maybe a dark there, but that's fine. And maybe a little dark here. Yeah, here. One more. Maybe here. Yeah, I like... Oh, come on. Now something down here is missing. Every single time I think, okay, that's the last one, I find another spot that needs help. You're never finished with a project like this. Because symmetrical projects, you can just be sure that you have finished, because you count the number of blocks that are missing, and if no blocks are missing in the exact right spots, then you know you're done. While organic or semi-random builds like this, you can always find one spot that needs a little bit of polishing. I think that's what makes this hard. And I can continue doing this for hours and hours now. I have been for a long time. Longer than you think. These few, maybe 30 or 40 fires have taken way more time than they should have. I am happy with this. But Gilded Blackstone. Can I now spam Gilded Blackstone here? Will it even make sense? Let's try. Well, for Gilded Blackstone being such an expensive block, that didn't make sense. Can you even see how many I placed there? 2 are visible, but there are many more, and they are barely visible. No, this doesn't make sense. Not for such an expensive block. No, absolutely not. I'm taking them back. No Gilded Blackstone. If I do some highlights, they have to be some other material. Oopsie. And how do the fires look from the inside? Well, the soul sand kind of ruins everything, but it's okay. And by the way, what I mentioned about the hiding mycelium. It's bits like this. These are very obvious, so I can remove them. But there are many more. Here is one. Why was there a mycelium in the I cleared this area out. That must have been an Enderman. And yeah, Endermen probably are gonna be ruining this as well, and just finding random blocks of mycelium somewhere and placing them on stuff like this. I wonder why grass doesn't grow here. Like, this grass should be spreading to here. Maybe it's not bright enough. Never mind, this is not what we're doing right now. We are doing removing the Gilded Blackstone I placed there, because it doesn't make sense. I'm doing the measurements for where I can relocate the beacons so they're not in front of the entrances, and yeah, I have bad news. It seems that here we are more than 50 blocks away from the middle, and yes, I'm measuring at this level. So this is where I'm measuring from. I set a reference point and then I go to here. It's not perfectly centered, but it's good enough, and we are already more than 50 blocks away, and a beacon reaches 50 blocks. If I want the outside beacons to reach me everywhere in the base, they would have to be here, and there is a floor here, so that doesn't work. Which means that I probably need to take the beacons that I have in the storage system and make them useful. Right now they are mostly just for the visual effect, and I don't think they're giving me any good effects, and I think at least 2 of them aren't even full-sized beacons, they're just a little bit cheaty. So this is the way this thing is built up, and I think this is full-size, yeah. This might be full-size, this definitely isn't. So yeah, maybe I can reconfigure these, because I didn't really bother when I was doing this. And if I reconfigure these to give me the effects I want, and move the side beacons to the corners, and then I could move them further so they are not going through the glass of the sphere. It would be about here then. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. And that's the third one. I cannot make this one a proper beacon because there is this mechanism in the way and I don't want to rebuild it. I'm a little bit lazy. Can I add regeneration here? No, I can't. Ooh. Oh, never mind. So this one will be left as just decorational. But I have the 3 effects that I want on these beacons, and now it's time to move the side beacons then. And what do I find when I'm tearing down this beacon? More mycelium. That is fine, but here, let's get rid of this. Oh, a lot of that I missed here just completely. Ha! And here was another patch of hiding mycelium. I'm gonna keep finding these all the time. That's why I'm saying that the counter... Why is the counter showing 98,000? Oh no, is it broken? It might actually be broken. That's really unfortunate. Didn't want to see that. I have decided that I'm gonna dig down all the beacons anyway, so I'm not gonna have a diamond beacon because, well, it was just a funny flex for one time, but I want to have all the beacons underground because that makes much more sense. Let's even this out a little bit. Bye-bye mycelium. That mycelium is gonna die. That probably doesn't need to be there. Alright, the beacons are gone, and now we need to figure out where to place them. But replacing the beacons will have to wait until next time, because we are out of time. And I have good news. My internet is back. I didn't get a replacement for the router that was supposed to be replaced, that I thought was broken, because everything started working again, and unfortunately it has done this multiple times in recent weeks, and that was because I had a power outage and it broke then. I have no idea if it's something that my internet provider is doing with the configuration, because it's one of these things that is remotely configured, so maybe it was broken that way, but I think it had it definitely had a power supply issue, because it broke down when I was using the old power supply. Now I changed the power supply on it and it works. You don't want to know all these details. I'm still suspecting that there is a hardware problem and that it might be breaking again, but if it doesn't break tonight, I'm gonna stream at 8 o'clock in the evening Central European Time, 7 o'clock in the evening UTC. That will be on twitch.tv/Borkon_live. I hope to see you there, and if not, I'm gonna see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye!